The headline screams terrorism or random chaos, but the strategic reality is far colder and more calculated. When U.S. agencies suspect Iran struck a Minnesota water facility, it was never an act of rage. It was a precise signal in a game of asymmetric deterrence. This brief reframes the attack not as a desperate bid to destroy infrastructure, but as a calibrated move in economic statecraft designed to force negotiation leverage without triggering full-scale war. By targeting critical utilities rather than military bases, Tehran is attempting to fracture international coalitions and raise the price of continued military action against them. The stakes here are not just about dirty water. They represent how weaker states weaponize civilian vulnerability against superpowers to rewrite the rules of engagement. In modern great power competition, the most effective weapon often isn't a missile capable of battlefield victory, but the ability to hold daily life at risk just enough to make war too expensive for an adversary to continue fighting. To understand why Minnesota was chosen over a naval base or airfield, we must look past the moral outrage and examine the mechanism of this new form of coercion. The operation did not require hacking a supercomputer or breaching military-grade firewalls. Instead, it exploited basic vulnerabilities in programmable logic controllers, the simple industrial switches that manage water flow and pressure. By manipulating these data inputs, actors from what U.S. intelligence identifies as the Cyber Avengers Group, a hacktivist network officially linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard, could halt operations or spike insurance rates without ever blowing up a single pipe. This creates immediate economic friction for American markets while allowing Tehran to maintain plausible deniability. The goal was visible disruption and domestic discord, signaling capability without crossing the threshold of kinetic war that would invite U.S. retaliation on Iranian soil. Quick resource note: I keep a curated set of Amazon search links in the description for books, gear, and tools relevant to this channel's topics. Some are affiliate links, so I may earn a commission at no extra cost to you. Please consider supporting the channel by using those links if you find something useful. This specific incident is not an isolated event, but part of a broader strategic pivot occurring since early 2026. Following a period of intense conflict involving direct United States participation alongside Israel in June 2025, Iran has abandoned limited tit-for-tat retaliation for a strategy of unbridled escalation and horizontal expansion. The logic is one of multi-domain punishment designed to maximize global economic pain by opening fronts across 14 nations simultaneously. This includes NATO members like Turkey as well as critical energy hubs and civilian infrastructure such as hotels, airports, and the very water treatment plants found in American suburbs. The pattern emerging from February through March 2026 shows a deliberate shift toward vertical escalation targeting assets that generate immediate political pressure at home. By disrupting operations rather than causing total destruction, Tehran aims to force a debate within the United States about whether the cost of maintaining military action is worth the risk to civilian safety and economic stability. The attack on Minnesota serves as a proof of concept for this doctrine, demonstrating that Iran can reach deep into U.S. critical infrastructure without starting World War III. It proves they can hold water treatment facilities at risk, forcing policymakers to weigh the value of strategic deterrence against the immediate panic in their own districts. The implications extend far beyond Minnesota or even the United States borders, touching on a precarious reality for global energy and food security that many viewers may not immediately connect to cyber warfare. The Gulf Cooperation Council nations possess no permanent rivers. They rely entirely on desalination technology for survival. Since 1990, there has been 314% growth in this sector, producing nearly 6 billion cubic meters of water annually across facilities that number over 3,400 operational plants. If Iran can threaten or strike these systems where even brief disruptions cause existential crises, they have proven they can hold global oil and food supplies hostage to any nation dependent on complex supply chains. This strategic context explains the hesitation in response from Washington. The United States faces a dilemma. If it responds with kinetic force to every cyber intrusion into civilian infrastructure, Iran has successfully framed the conflict as an asymmetric struggle where the weaker party holds the leverage of mutual vulnerability. By holding critical systems at risk, Tehran seeks to fracture international coalitions and raise the price of continued military action. This is not about winning a battle on a map. It is about making the cost of war so high in economic terms that negotiation becomes the only rational path forward for all parties involved. The scale of this multi-domain campaign has already expanded rapidly, with 14 nations now embroiled in the conflict by early March 2026, up from an initial 9 targets within just 24 hours. This expansion is designed to ensure that no single ally can shield itself from the fallout, effectively turning global markets into a shared hostage situation. With 1/5 of all global oil trade passing through the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran has threatened to mine as part of this escalation, the economic stakes are amplified exponentially. The threat is not just about shutting down water in Minnesota. It is about signaling that no critical infrastructure anywhere on Earth is safe from a calibrated strike designed to force political concessions. Ultimately, the attack on the water facility was never intended to permanently destroy American utility grids or cause mass casualties through poisoned water supplies. It was a demonstration of reach and resolve, proving that Iran possesses the tools to inflict catastrophic costs on adversaries who depend on complex digital systems for survival. For viewers following global affairs, this reveals a fundamental shift in how power is projected. By holding civilian life at risk, just enough to make war too expensive for an opponent to sustain. In this new era of strategic competition, the ability to disrupt daily operations has become as potent as any traditional military force, reshaping the calculus of deterrence and forcing nations to rethink their reliance on interconnected infrastructure in times of high tension. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I am a one-person team working hard to make each video better than the last. Subscribe if you found value. It is the best way to show support. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway. See you in the next video.